off. Through battles waged and fought, through victory and pain, by test of their courage, our freedom was gained. In homage to those gone before us, the heroes of lands in the sun, we vow to join hands and to focus on building one Caribbean. Raise your voices high, sing of your Caribbean pride. Sing it loud and strong, feel our hearts beat as one. Celebrate in song as we rise to heights where we belong. Sound the victory drum for Caracom.
Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. And as usual, as soon as we start this program, you can pick up the telephone and give us a call. The number to call is 442-0175. We speak about anything: politics, religion, socio-economic issues, or any topical issue of the day. And you too can introduce your own topic. You see, this country have a good democratic system, and we must let that ingrain in our culture, and we must support it. That means we must talk about it. If the system is good, it's good. From 1984, we have been going to the polls and selecting a government of our choice. And on each occasion, the side that loses election concede defeat within 24 hours after closing of the poll. And they never challenge it in court. It means that even if there was some level of irregularities, it was not enough. There was no substance to make a cry, a hue about it. Sometimes you hear the losing sides make some negative statements, and that is basically to satisfy the appetite of those who lose, to cheer them up. But they're definitely not serious. Election in Grenada is free, fair, and free from fear. All elections. Even prior to the revolution, Winston White lose election by 1 vote. They check for about 6 days, same one. To tell you how good our electoral system is. But one of the challenges we have in Grenada is lack of confidence in our own selves. I don't think it's Grenada alone, maybe throughout the Caribbean, and that must come from slavery. I think Barbadians was the one that perhaps in the Caribbean seems to have most confidence in themselves. And because they didn't change hand that regular and they thought there was Little England, and Bajans always felt that they are the most educated in the Caribbean. So perhaps that's it. You notice they never change the language. Grenadians, by the time they're planning to go in Trinidad, they start to say hapasfo. They change the language one time. Our Calypsonians, if you listen to them, as soon as they have a song that they feel make them big, will make them big, they turn Jamaican. Even some of our people who went and studied in Jamaica come back years after that and they speak in Jamaican. But I think we must have more confidence in ourselves. The Grenada group who normally go to England and participate in the flower show, they win gold on many occasions. Yet Grenadians want rose from England. We have beautiful flowers here. We're winning gold medal in international competition. We've been on the international stage and win gold medal for honey on many occasions. But Grenadians prove 4 foreign honeys. Gallons and gallons of honey are imported in Grenada. Grenada beekeepers, they want queens from the American mainland. Irrespective of what you say, that when you bring in these things, you're likely to bring in disease. But the beekeepers wouldn't hear. They wouldn't hear. They want queens from away because they believe what is away is better. Man tell me the other day he want a new breed of sheep. He want a good breed. The man have some sheep, they looking good. They making, a number of them making 3. Sandfly not eating all the eyes. The man tell me he buy a new breed of black belly. He bring it up in the mountain. Man, the black belly looking like a dog that have minch. He say you want a new breed. The animals is not suited for the environmental condition. It don't accustomed with the grass. It cannot withstand the sandflies and mosquitoes. Yet, we feel that what we have done good. Some fellas say, nice girl in the village, you know. All them girls in the village bad. They want foreign girls. Nice looking girls in the community, you know. Well respectable. You could even like them and get away. Nice girls. But because we have the attitude that what we have is not good, we're crying it down. Even people you believe have education and smart. Grenada, electricity, telephone, water, and internet in Grenada, that service is second to none. It's better than most, and it's comparable with the best. Over 90% of Grenadians have access to these facilities. Grenada have the most land owners in the region. And this one is a masterpiece, you know. Because when they had the Bolshevik Revolution, the state controlled the land. When the revolution took place in Cuba, the state controlled the land. But in Grenada, perhaps one of the first countries in the world, the government then, Eric Gary, gave the land to people who did not have land. So people who never dreamt about being a landowner become a proprietor. So today, Grenada have the most landowners in the region. And that is significant because you could make your own decision, determine what you grow, what you don't grow. You could even leave your land abandoned in Grenada. We have a number of people they're planting only the 3 B's in the land. You know, yet we're criticizing and condemning Grenada. We have one of the best network of roads in the region. And that is so important for communication and development. And the quality of the roads is relatively good and comparable. But we don't believe that. Look at the amount of vehicles we have in Grenada. Over the last 10, 12 years, we practically double the amount of vehicles that we have. It means that people have more discretionary income. It means that over the last 10, 12 years, Grenadians have more discretionary income. That is why they could buy vehicles. If you look at our teacher to children ratio, it's about 1 to 15. It is better than most countries in the world, including United States of America and England. And we're not talking about e-money yet. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Good
Punch. Yes, my brother, punch.
I just arrived and I just joined you and I punched you one time.
The best thing to do is to open bat or open bowl.
I like to open that.
Yes, go right ahead.
You say something they should because I could remember just a couple years ago, you could have bought a pot of dry peas in the road before a vehicle passing amongst it. Now, you ought to be so careful. A whole pot of dry peas could have boiled in the road and had them bust on a vehicle over. So I agree with you. We have more disposable income now than before. But, Mr. Pierre, there is some people who call themselves political activists for the other side. We know who's the other side. who is looking at the intelligence of certain electorate and going and fool them. I don't want to call them yet, probably when the time is, I'm going to do it. I heard yesterday a political activist on the other side telling some people at hotels, all you vote for us now, look, the man raising flour again, the man going and bring up gas again. I mean, these people does not watch TV. They does not read news. So they don't know. So people, like cheap politics for vote. Oh, the man bringing up flour. You hear the man about to bring up flour. Oh, the man bringing up gas again. The man want to kill people. Whereas this is totally untrue, because if we listen to what's going on in the world. So I think it's very important for media houses to be explaining how this thing happened, because we know we have a war going on. But and the gentleman who the lady was talking to said, oh, so? And I like me dumpling. Oh, so? Oh, your pig feet going up. The man bringing up pig feet. The man bringing up pork feet. Everything is on that political man. Next thing, I want to ask a question. Everything is about Deacon Mitchell on the other side. If by a chance that government happened to form, I want to know if Deacon could hold on the ministry. Because everybody talking about Deacon is a bright boy, and Deacon. So I want to know, all things on Deacon. So where the other members of the organization, or what they call themselves, I don't know. So these people don't ready for government. They don't ready for government. I have no apology in saying that. I don't know if you agree with me. Thank you, sir.
All right, my brother. I think the first thing we have to recognize that the opposing parties are not responsible for the work that each other do. So, for instance, NDC is not responsible for NNP work. Each party have to sell themselves. And the NNP have to sell themselves and defend themselves. They cannot expect NDC to sell them, and vice versa. So don't, if the people say is NNP that is responsible for raising the flour, that is they have the democratic right, they have freedom of speech. You have to sell your program. You have to educate your people. You have to inform your people. And cheap politics is good politics. You don't pay much for it. And if you bring about results, that is when politicians have to understand that they have political work to do. You cannot blame the opponent for throwing short jabs at you. You can't do that. Because you sometimes throw short jabs at the opposition too. But I think all in all, it's very important. Somebody wants to know, what are the 3 B's? You see, I said they're planting the 3 B's. Well, I say Bwakano, Bamboo, and Baliji. A number of places you go in Grenada, you see those plants. And the Bwakano could be used as forage for animals at a very young stage. So they're not using it. The bamboo could be used as glass. Instead of you buying glassware, you could cut bamboo nut and use it for teacup and water and jug. But they're not using it that way. And barley jay could be used to make bread, to put leaf, etc. for bread, and you could use the barley jay as flowers. But they're not using it as that. It is neglected in the land. It is not abandoned land. Because if you go in the land have owner. It is neglected land. Unproductive land. So I'm one who advocate that government should charge people for unproductive land. Once they try, but I don't know who give them this ramgoat advice. They say abandoned land. It's not abandoned land. It's neglected, unproductive land. This land could have been used to plant soursop. Grenada is the only country in the region that can sell fresh soursop to the U.S. market. 1 pound of soursop is about $2.50. and you do not even have to go and harvest it. But yet, we cannot get enough soursop to sell on the US market. Mexico is one of the competitors that is lurking in the dark, waiting for an opportunity to enter that market. And anytime Mexico enters that market, Grenada could say bye-bye. We can't talk about pulp soursop because Brazil is putting pulp soursop on the market. So we have a niche market, but our farmers have not answered the call to plant soursop. Soursop takes 18 months to grow if you is a good farmer. 2 years and a half if you true pull. 3 years if you do okay. And yet, Grenadians prefer to plant bamboo, bokanu, and baliji, and continue quarreling about government not helping them. And I always ask, what assistance you want from the government? Because every government in Grenada have assisted the farmers. Farmers have free 100% concession. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
After Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, I remember a previous leader of NDC. I made a comment that the NNP or the workers of the Grenada, they are very gullible. Right? And see, whatever thing that I recognize, because they gullible, they could fall for anything. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So they are very gullible. So they could tell anything and they could fall for it. But I wanted to remind the people of Grenada Competing Market the lies that was told to them in 2008, where they said they could pay them $1,000, the e-money, and none would go home. Remember in Patrick Simmons, where he's taking people to Ghana, the trade center, and tell them, I love you all, and none of you all will be going home. What happened? By the time 3 months after the election, all the e-money workers were sent home. Even the senior citizen, they promised to $400, and that didn't materialize. They put a $50 raise on that money. And what happened to get a $50? They have to take some of the senior citizens on name on that list to get a $50. So you see, they have a trend of lying to the Grenadian people. Right? If the Grenadian people will forget what they said to them, the promise that they made to them, and they did not fulfill it. And what's part of it? You did not fulfill something. You know that you're saying, when you're outside there, you might think what going in the kitchen is easy. But when you get inside the kitchen, you might find it difficult. Well, when you get inside the kitchen, I find you can't do. You go back to people and say, well, why we promised that we can't fulfill it? What they will say, they never said that. We can look at what they get with the money. They were saying that money is a waste of money. They spend on the money. Now we come back with that, we will make all the money permanent. Permanent where? From home. And also remember when NDC was in government, the money went home. But the pay wage gone up. When NDC level it was about $20 or $21 million. By the time NDC leave government, it was about $27 or $28 million. Who would they hire? They hire all chief of staff, other people in big high in society who have a job already. They raise the pay. I remember a man at the airport was working for $27,000 a month. Right? So if the widest margin, and this was in a win, this is the same set of people that they had. They're paying the big fat salary. They're going to begin permanent. And the Imani workers, they will be going back home. Because you have one of them, they see the candidate, I was clamoring, I was getting rid of the Imani. The traffic squad and getting rid of them. I want to bring up people. Don't let people fool you. They want to say something that's something nice in your air, but give them the chance to govern in a whole 360, 380 turnaround. So I want to see the people. Yes, you could forgive, but remember what he did to you. So, Mr. Pierre, have a blessing.
Thank you, caller. I think in the political discussion sometimes when people make statements, people, the journalists or the radio personalities or whoever they make these statements to must look for practicality or workability of the statements. Now, when they asked Maurice Bishop for joint leadership, Maurice Bishop said he agreed with the principle of joint leadership. But later, Maurice Bishop said he don't understand the workability. An individual could say anything. One friend of mine that was running for election said he's going to build a bridge from Grenada to Carriacou. And that is not impossible. That is acceptable and it's possible. But what's about the economic realities? And people constantly listen to him and say to him, economically, that does not make sense. When an individual come here and attack the Imani program, and I, as an individual, particularly believe that is a good program, In fact, I have said on many occasions that this is one of the best programs that have been instituted in the last 100 years to address the challenges of people who exit school and do not have the basic education, the skills and the attitude to get a job. And over 3,000 people benefits from it. So if you are a politician, you have high unemployment in a country, and the greatest percent of people that are unemployed are young people, and they don't have the skills and the talents, and you have a program that addresses 3,000 of them, you have to be dumb twice. You have to be blind in one ear and deaf in one eye to get rid of the program. Michael Battis believed that program must be expanded. I believe that program must be expanded too. I even have my issue with NNP ministers. I don't believe they sell that program. Sometimes they try to defend the program, and sometimes they try to be apologetic. There is absolutely nothing to be apologetic about. Now, if somebody is challenging this program, ask them what other program you could use. And there is no perfect solution, so just encourage them to think they might come up with a better idea. But if you want to revamp this program and do what? What you have to do is expand it, make it more efficient. It's a good program. It addresses the issue with high unemployment in a country. These things have been done in other countries in different form. In England, in Canada, in United States of America and other countries. In a lot of socialist country, we have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre. I'm listening to your program and I'm enjoying it. But Mr. Pierre, you have a problem because some NNP fighting with NNP. If you have a problem outside here, I don't know what is the reason. NNP fighting with NNP. NNP canvassing NNP undecided and canvassing the NNP. I don't understand what is going on. The way they're getting at the time election with the majority of NNP will change their mind. Because if you're running for office, you have to put peace. And if you continue dividing, you cannot get your 15 seats and you cannot get your seats. And this is what I'm seeing in St. Patrick West. You have a big, big problem here, which I don't know who and how they go solve it. Because the people and them who run in that high ranking, they're trying to continue keeping the division between who say and they say. In politics, you don't have no permanent enemy, you don't have no friendship. Because everybody want to be on board if you want them to be on board. But I'm not seeing that. What they're doing is set a confusion and say, I don't want this person and I don't want this person. Well, if you don't want this person, you don't want the person vote. And then even if you don't want this person, remember the person had a friend, the person had a family in the back. This is what, apparently they don't know what is the politics. They feel they want to be in position and they will fight and do anything to be in position. But that is not politics. We all have to be on one table if we want to be in the race. But they feel you there, I don't want you, you're there too long, commodity. I don't want you, you're there too long, commodity. This is not politics. If we continue, so what is the reason why we used to go in the home and pick up people on the bed and bring them on boat? You're never too old to vote as long as you have the life. But they're not watching that, Mr. Pierre. You're there too long, commodity, it's position they fighting. You mustn't be there. And that's what I am seeing. And if it continues so, I am sorry, because a lot of people ready to change their mind. They may not go vote for the opposition, but they will sit down in the house and they won't go and vote. If they can amend this problem now. Because in the for instance, you have a group in the village. What they do, they lie to those people because they know they can't bring out people where they want to. So they lie for the people and telling those people, he have a meeting and the PM will be coming. When people think PM coming, you're going to call election and then you have a group. So you want to put group on group. I know when you have a group, okay, every year election due, you have to change. But they don't do that. What they do, they call, they get the people, the members, they put it in wherever they have them, and then they put a group, they elect a group. And the group, what is functioning, stay right there and ready. Still working, and they're right. You find that is right? So how you could go and tell me that the people that did that to, you want them to go and vote for you? Mr. Pierre, no, that can't work. Right now is a hate and a division what is here. And I hope they solve the division soon, because if they don't solve it, a lot of people is changing their mind. Thank you very much and have a good evening.
Yes, my sister. And these are the things that will qualify good leadership. When you, and these things are not, it's not bad in a community. You go have different views and opinions. That is where leadership rise. That is where you're going to test the mettle, the strength of leaders. So over the period of time, leadership would rise there. Whether it is on one side or the next one, it doesn't matter. What is most important in Grenada, that we have confidence in ourselves, that we sit down and discuss issues, that we believe that we are the ones who could control our own destiny. And that is why I constantly say to people, Grenada is in a very good position. When I hear people criticizing Grenada cut blank, and some of the things they're saying, from what the information I have is not true, I challenge them. And I say, please give me information, because I'll change my opinion if I get new information. So if somebody tells me that the Grenada is not doing as well as it was doing 20 years ago, I take strong issue with that. If somebody say to me that our hospital conditions is worse than before, I take strong issue with that. You have to present facts to do that. Government has just introduced a program where they're encouraging, I call it a venture capital, where they provide loans for contract workers and e-monies. And I like that idea. I think it's a venture capital. I think the principle should be spread all around the country so that parents would provide venture capital for your children. Could you imagine a home, you have a son, leaves school 16 years, and you ask him what you want to do, what you want to get involved in, what business you want to run. And he say, I think I could mind some pigs. And you make him make a production estimation, and you realize that if he could start with $10,000, he could raise some fatness. And the parents provide the money for him as a loan. Yes, it's a high-risk loan, but it's your son. Who you want to provide a loan for him? And sometimes start up in 1 year, 2 years, he start to do well, so you could provide more money for him. We have to encourage our people to do that. Our people been saving. All the banks, all the credit unions, and other financial institutions are very liquid. When I say that, they have money. And they're reluctant to provide loans for the people because they don't trust the people. They don't have confidence in the people. They feel the people will not pay back. But you taking your money and put in the bank. So why not take your money and provide small loans for your own children? And it may not be $30,000 or $40,000. Sometimes it's $2,000 a 16-year-old need to establish a rabbit pen or lettuce bed or to grow seasoning around the house. And we have the lands. You see, we have to get our people in the mood of working and investing. I take strong objection to a 30-year-old who never make a day work. I see that person as a parasite. They might be a good talker, but they must work. Even if the parents have discretionary income and they don't have to work, they should work. Even if they do voluntary work in a home or some other community, we must encourage our people to work. It is extremely distasteful when you have people 30 odd years that never make a day work in their life. They're living on other people's sweat. And there are a lot of parents who have a lot of money. Why I know they have a lot of money? I look at the amount of money they spend to bury themselves or to bury their children. And I say to bury themselves because some of them go in and pay the funeral agency. Some of them paying the funeral agency. 22-year-old people take out account to the funeral agency to pay money for when they're dead. This is a very bad sign. So we must encourage people to invest. If somebody wants to get involved in politics, we must look at their track record. What work have this person been doing? If they're not working the 30, 35 years, they have not made a day work, I would not support them in politics. You're going to have political discussions, and it is going on both sides as a search for candidates. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, good day, good day. Yeah, I understand that the chocolate factory, they say, no open a next branch again. I find that laughable. I find that you're a joke. Because if you, present one, cannot produce nothing for the farmers, they don't benefit, farmers don't benefit nothing. Why open a next one? Because the guy who managing, they say the big young people, he come in that thing, a young man to manage, and up to now, we regress instead of progressing. We ain't got anywhere, so what one plan cocoa now for the next factory? That question I put out over them. We go up plan because I come in mind, I don't planting no more cocoa tree again. I never planting no for all years. For 40 years, take me planting. I don't this thing. I don't planting nothing more again. I see that teenager. They do the thing. You can't open you want to open a next one again. So that's a who.
So that is 6 now?
Huh?
That is 5 or 6 now?
In factory?
Uh-huh.
I don't really do, but I understand they say some don't open someone in Moncton or some kind of. So I say, well, if that means the business is doing well, so what would be? Remember, if there was a private company, the Cocoa Association, a private company buying cocoa without a problem because we sell the cocoa and we get money. But when you're under pressure, they always say that if farmers think, farmers go and take back all the things. Look at government to put their hand in all the things. So the all the things, I don't have no certificate to prove that I just share whole lie. They don't tell you that when they're under pressure. So give us something for as you are the cocoa right now operating. You are the chocolate factory, so making more profit there, and you decide to branch the next one again. If you like open an insurance scheme for something, somebody would have, so when the farmers get old or whatever, they could have something they could benefit for. But not a group of smart man just controlling this thing and controlling it and every bring more. I don't feel people, they give people incentive in everything, so to give people incentive so they go push. Because look at the world market. What they say? Flour going up, sugar going up. So the cocoa price, the cocoa going up, chocolate, they have food too. You know, going up. That's the question I want to ask them. This thing must go up too because every little thing, as the little crisis is going up. So how we remain the same? And when they raise in price 10 cents, you have to put on it 5 cents and 10 cents. You have to sell a whole 1,000 pounds cocoa to get $100. That making no sense. That making no sense. So Pierre, take care.
Yes, my brother. The Cocoa Association, I don't know, it's difficult to understand them. I've been trying to understand the Cocoa Association and Nutmeg Association for years. I've been trying to understand what goes on in the minds of these people. And it's difficult for me. And I'm not qualified to speak about them, you know. I'm a cocoa farmer. I've been all my life. And a second generation farmer. But the Cocoa Association, if you have 5 chocolate companies in Grenada, and none of them is operating at maximum. Well, if it's a private company, you can stop them from opening companies. But cocoa is a food. And in the world today, we have more millionaires than any other time in the world. And chocolate is associated with romance. So definitely, perhaps chocolate should be fetching a higher price on the market. But if you have chocolate in Grenada, one would assume now that you are not selling, you're trying to produce your own final product. That is one of the things we've been making noise about all our life, that we have to sell to Europe to make back chocolate to us. But you cannot get a chocolate for $1. You can't even get chocolate for $1 to make a cup of chocolate. Or a cup of cocoa tea. That sounds more traditional, cocoa tea. And the people on the board, you don't understand them. And you're asking them to give you information. If you have a problem on the international market in terms of price, tell Grenadians that. If you have difficulties in the quantum of cocoa that you're buying, tell us that. If you don't know how to make a roster so Grenadians could know during the cocoa season, we practically have a good idea when we're going to buy cocoa subject to change. Tell us you can do it. If you want help of a businessman, well, go and ask Andal or Kenny Lalsin or Hoggins or Hobbarts. Because what the Cocoa Association doing is totally unacceptable. The Cocoa Association should be importing farm equipments. We have no agriculture shop in Grenada. One sister tried one in Sates, and we have a brother in Carriacou that is trying an agriculture shop. The Cocoa and the Nutmeg Association should have an agriculture shop where we could go and buy agriculture things from the shop. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my sister, welcome.
How do you do?
Great, man.
Right. What I'm asking for right about now. I'm asking on Mr. Ross, because you know we had a manufacturing in Wester Hall. I used to work in the manufacturing in Wester.
Well, maybe somebody, this gentleman must have been a man advanced in age too.
Yeah, but a young one coming up.
Well, yes, so better we say we're asking anybody. He, at that stage, he may not be interested in that again. So we're seeking for anybody who could invest in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that does give us, we used to make...
What you said, to invest in a manioc factory?
Yes.
Well, we have some people in Munich and other places,
yes.
and even in Carriacou.
Yes.
But perhaps they need to be bigger in operation.
Yes. You go with the manioc now. We used to ship manioc from, we used to sell it all in St. Lucia. Yeah.
Yeah. But now we cannot. But now we cannot. The price of manioc, the price of cassava is so high now. We can't export it, and we're not making enough for Grenada.
We supposed to have a little flour. You could make flour with it. You could take the banana and thing and make flour.
But individual homes used to make their own cassava, make bang bang,
yes.
and make dumpling.
Yes.
But we stop cook in homes. We want fast food. So before now, parents used to grow the cassava, grate the cassava, make the cassava, and they have 60, 70 pounds of farine.
Yes.
We used to mix up farine in cocoa tea to give dog to make it bad.
Yes, it's true, that's Why?
So, this is because of the change in our lifestyle.
Well,
We stop with cassava and we like macaroni. We buying the things that are imported.
my grandmother used to grate the provision, eh? She peel it, she put it to dry. She put that time is we are my thing that was pound the thing in.
Matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're making flour, you're making cassava, you're taking the bread food, you're making bread for flour.
You pour it in the matter.
Oh, everything.
But we don't have matter again. People ain't ponging nothing again. You see, we have to understand. A lot of things change. We complaining, but we want somebody else do it.
That's right.
So we're not growing our cassava and make cassava flour. We want somebody make it.
Oh, good.
Everybody else wants somebody to make it. Well, the foreigners are making it and sell it for us. And then we complain about the price.
You understand?
Yeah.
Well, you.
Thank you.
Brother, have a blessed
Thank you
day.
very much.
You
Yes.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Well, that is a very important issue. People are complaining about the price and the cost of living, but they are not doing nothing to change the circumstances. I meet a little girl, she looking well. I tell you, she nice as guava. She look as a sapodilla ripe in the shade. She spent $20 a week on her cell phone. So me and I have a discussion, and she encouraging enough for me to continue with the discussion. Well, $20 a week on your phone. The last time I checked is $80 a month. And 12/8 had to be 96. So that is about $10,000 on 10 years that this young, nice girl will be spending on her phone. When I work out the figures for her, she tell me, well, it's not she that put in the money on the phone. I said, well, it's not you that put in the money, but you that paying for the money that go on your phone. So just by spending $20 a week on a cell phone, that is $10,000 in 10 years. Now this is where we challenges are. So we have to tell people that if you save that and you do something productive with it, then that's money. Some people have a carib case under their house, and they'll be in for the next year to buy carib, but it's $9 for the case. Why not invest, give back the people the case, and take the $9 and invest it? No, we have to get our people to think. We have to get our people to change their attitude, to change their eating habits. Some people say cost of living is high, and I say based upon your lifestyle. Because of the fact that the majority of Grenadians have lands. You're not like the people in New York. They live in a cubicle. They have nowhere to plant nothing. Or let me say the majority of them. Because some of them that send down little tomatoes on the social media. They send crops that they plant. We in Grenada are very fortunate that we could grow a number of things to supplement our income. And government in Grenada make it certain that they spend money on social safety net to buffer the people who falls in the lower socioeconomic strata. So what we need is some more economic discussion. We need to sit down and discuss issues so we could come up with answers. When you have people who vying for politics, who cannot bring no new ideas on the table, who cannot even help themselves, who have not even started rearing some pigs, and people over 30 years, they don't even have a little pig farm, a little rabbit farmer, nothing they're not doing for themselves. But they're telling you they could change the world. Well, if you can't change things for yourself, how could you change the world? The number to call is 442-0175. Call me and let's talk issues. We must hold discussion, and we must believe we could solve the problems that we have in Grenada. You know, we could solve the problem. You know, we have to able to sit down, hold discussion, and solve our problem. The farmers in our country, I don't know, I have always said that a lot of farmers have to start saying what they want. When you hear a farmer complaining, ask the farmer, what is it you want? Because I don't believe some farmers in Grenada knows what they want. And farmers follow the enemies of progress, opposition elements, and help to perhaps confuse them more. A farmer must know what you want. Government is providing concession for you. So if you want to buy a transport, you have 100% concession. And you have to buy a four-wheel transport. And four-wheel transport is best suited for off-road. Farmers have extension service. They don't have to pay for that. They have labor support. Government subsidize plants. If you want more subsidies on plants, is right. A number of foodstuff are zero rated. You do not pay VAT on agriculture tools and equipment. So what is it the farmers want? Now, it makes no sense joining jump up people who just criticize it, particularly this period where the politics is concerned. Every politician looking for some live string to jump on. But the farmers must know exactly what they want. Otherwise, you're going to just be taken for a ride. And this is where the utility board, the commodity boards, cocoa and nutmeg, sometimes have serious problem with people. This group of people, in my mind, is the worst negotiators in the country. The worst negotiators in the country. Way back in Gary days, they take the nutmeg money and they invest it in Barbados. They put it in banks in Barbados. At 1 year, they gave the farmers 2 back pay. The farmers buy out all the furnitures in the hire purchase stores. They buy it cash. And they have not invested in the land. You have farmers in Grenada that would not buy a pump, but they buy a vehicle for $105,000. You have farmers doing vegetables year after year. They would not do any collection of rainwater harvesting. Some of them have a big school nearby, and they could come together and take the water from the guttering in the school. You had programs in Grenada that the farmers never make use of. It was given up to $50,000 in assistance for farmers to invest. Some of the farmers don't have the capacity. And they are not helped because some of our bright sons and daughters who went to university, they come back home and they are not involved in farming. They're not involved in farming. So some of the challenges we have in Grenada, I constantly say there has to be a lot of change of attitude. And that was a good time for new people involved in opposition to come up with ideas. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome. Punch. Yes, caller. Punch. We lost this gentleman. Yeah, it seems that we lost the caller. Please call back. Today is the farmers' meeting. I'm reading a post from Facebook. Today is the farmers' meeting with the Commissioner of Police at 4 p.m. in the Deluxe Cinema in Grenville. So farmers, please go to the farmers' meeting. The commodity board should send a representative to that meeting to reflective of the board. Both the nutmeg and cocoa. You have nutmeg farmers. I don't think they're thieving cocoa again. Some people get so fed up, they only thief and all the butter and cocoa. But send a representative to the meeting because we have to think long term. And make your suggestions and express your views and opinion on these issues. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
As you was on the topic of agriculture,
What ringing in the back then? Not your radio.
I want to make a point that I heard.
What ringing in the back there? Not your radio.
What me?
Your radio that ringing there?
Close to the radio.
Alright, well, unclose yourself. Come out a little way and lower it down. Because it's giving us a feedback. Our technology is not yet super. It's not supersonic. Like Russia and America and them, they have missile now, supersonic. Yeah, faster than the speed of sound, 4 or 5 times. Yeah, as they prepare for the Third World War. You ready? You ready, my brother?
Yes.
Yeah, punch.
I heard farmers, many farmers are wrongly saying, oh, the government should do this, oh, the government should do that. I want the farmers themselves need to come up with ideas because this government, I could show that this government listen to the cries. That's one good thing I give the NNP praise for. They listen to the old. They listen to the young. They listen to everyone in this country. And they try at least to make an attack on whatever complaint they get. So I believe farmers just sit back and say what government should do. I don't know if you agree with me. I mean, some of them have ideas. Some of them have been planting. They're living by that for many years. I could believe they should invite the Minister of Agriculture and discuss it. And by sitting back and saying, government should do that for the farmers, and government ain't doing enough for the farmers. I don't know if you agree with me.
Well, I think farmers should pull themselves together and come up with what they want to do. Sometimes you find 8 or 9 farmers in a locality. You must have the answers. You must know what you want. And then you go to the politician and say, this is what we want. You see, sometimes what the farmers need sometimes is to work harder, to go in the land and work, and to start to use the products from the land. If you're a farmer, why go in a restaurant and eat rice? I'll eat rice, I won't say I won't eat it. But if you go in a restaurant, ask for the products that you produce. Why is it you have a cucumber farmer that's seeing trouble to sell cucumber? His daughter have an A in food and nutrition, and his wife buying pickled cucumber in the supermarkets. That is a paradox. The farmer is unable to sell his product. When the farmer go in a restaurant, he's not eating that product. His wife going and buy pickled cucumber rather than use fresh cucumber, and his daughter have an A in agriculture. That doesn't make no sense. And this is a challenge we have in Grenada. Some of the biggest importation in Grenada in terms of agriculture food, I guess that could be verified a challenge, is potatoes, onion, and garlic. Irish potato, onion, and garlic. Well, we could use dashing and make cheap. We could use dashing and make cheap. We could use sweet potato and make cheap. We have onion, garlic. We could plant garlic. And they have another bush that smells like garlic that we could use. But we're not using it. We want the artificial product. Before, you could have gone to the neighbor and get pepper sauce. Nowadays, we don't want that. So we need to encourage the cottage industry. And as our children go to school, we provide venture capital for our children to start business. And sometimes it's not much money. $5,000, $2,000, $500, $10,000. This is why I like the idea of the Ministry of Finance introducing venture capital for people to take loan. These people, the banks would not like them. Bank would not like a Imani. Bank don't like contract workers. The bank want a public officer, and the bank give you money to buy a car, not to open a full farm for $10,000. The bank not giving you trouble. It is easier for a public officer to go to the bank and get money to buy a car, $100,000, than to get $10,000 to open a poultry farm. This is why this initiative of providing loan for contract workers is so important. I hope that it spreads and family members could use that principle and provide venture capital for the children to do business. And I do hope our economists, those guys who come out in university with a briefcase or certificate, start to advocate that or express their views and opinion on that economic initiative. And that is important because this is the reason we send our brightest sons and daughters to university to get initiative. When they come back, they lose their tongue. They're either behaving like a commission agent for the multinational corporation, or they shut them out. We could take a last caller. You could just pick up the telephone and call us now, and you could close the program for us. We believe in our callers, as this program is quite a lot about provoking discussions. A number of initiatives taken by the government is worthy of spreading and filtering in the country. And one of them is this contract workers and Imani that can get loans. I believe companies that want to emulate workers, instead of giving them a bouquet of flowers and a plaque, offer them a loan. And what we will find is a new business start by companies. We have the answers to our problems. We have the answers. Black Africa, Grenada have the answers. But we don't believe in ourselves. We on radio every day, running down Grenada. Grenada is a country that depends quite a lot on tourism. And the majority of people, Grenadians, are out of Grenada. Maybe over 300,000 Grenadians and their descendants are in the developed countries. So image is very important. So when people stay on the radio, use the radio and social media, and run down the image of Grenada, they are not doing justice to our country. Generally, you call that the bad-minded. Because you know what it is for a number of Grenadians who have discretionary income to invest back in Grenada. But if we tarnish the image of Grenada, we are discouraging them from doing that. And you can get on back to us again tomorrow between 12 and 1, and we discuss any topic. We fear no subject matter. We express our views and opinion on politics and any other issues we are comfortable with. If we believe that we're wrong or we get new information, changing our opinion. Thank you very much.